So, you want to learn how to ride a motorcycle, but you don't know where to start. First off, if I can get this off, okay. First, what you want to do is take a look at the motorcycle, inspect it for things. Okay. Especially with a motorcycle you haven't ridden in a while, say a couple weeks. You want to check if there's any leaks under the vehicle. As you can see, there isn't any under this one because it's been sitting for a couple days and it just ran. Also, you want to inspect things such as the fact that this cover is missing. We're not going to worry about that. And those are twisted. I'm not going to be riding this later in the video, but it shows everything you need to know. Down here on this is a 2000, I think, 2 Honda Shadow 750. Down here on the left side of the bike, you have your key. This is your fuel. It's currently set to on. Your plugs. You have your left foot peg. This is your shifter pedal. Going above the bike, we have lights. Bike controls, it's currently set to low. Right side, this is your engine start, engine stop. Jump back to the left again. This is your clutch. This is your front brake. Over to the right side of the bike, you have your right foot peg and your rear brake. Want to inspect that those all feel good. Your next step will be inspecting electronics. So for this, you want to make sure that it's not going to try to inject fuel. Turn the key to on. You'll see the dash lights up. Hello again, wind. And you want to check electronics, so we'll do blinker. Right blinker. Right blinker. Left. Left blinker. Left blinker. Shut that off. You see we are in neutral. So, you've done electronics inspection. You've made sure that there's no leaks. How do we get on the motorcycle? First, what's usually taught in classes is to reach over the motorcycle and grab the front brake. Then lift your back leg and get on the motorcycle. I will get a side view of me doing so. Now, keep in mind, you're seeing this from the right side of the bike. Reach over, grab the brake, lift your leg, swing over, and then usually, especially on my bigger bike, pull in the brake and lift it up. Once you're there, you put the kickstand up. I'm parked on a slope, so I kind of need to hold this. So, now we get into starting it. For this one, we have a choke. We'll scale this back. For this vehicle, because it's carbureted, it has a choke, which is this right here. Out is on, in is off. It might be different depending on your bike. Make sure to verify. Okay, now I do know that we are in neutral, but we'll go over that. So, if you're not in neutral, usually bikes will have a light to indicate that it is. If you're not able to not have the clutch in and just roll it back and forth, you're not in neutral, you're currently in gear. I'll put it into first, if it will let me. You notice hands are off, clutch is not engaged. It doesn't want to go back, nor does it want to go forward. It stops right there. So, how to get it out? You'll pull in the clutch. I think it might be easier if we angle it down. So, you will pull in the clutch. You can't see it right now, just know that I am. And then you will go under here. We are currently in first, so it is half a click up. And now we're in neutral. If we were in second, there's second, it's half a click down. Or alternatively, if you're in any other gear, so we're shifting all the way up. You can just keep shifting down until you hit first. You'll know you're in first when it doesn't shift down anymore. It stopped itself in neutral. Come on. There it goes. You'll know you're in first when it doesn't shift down anymore. It won't engage for this on my bigger bike. It just will not go down, and then you can just have it click back up. That's usually how I get into neutral at a stop once I've been moving for a while. So now that we're in neutral, how do we start the bike? If it was colder, we'd go down here and pull out the choke. It is not, so we're going to leave that in. Then you'll look over, make sure that your engine stop is set to run. Usually that is the down position. Again, verify you're in neutral. This being a carburetor, will give it a couple pumps to prime, and then you just hit start. Notice what happens when I go to pull out the choke and it's warm. That is what choke does. It gets the engine running faster so it warms up. Once the engine is warm, you should not have your choke out. When you start moving, you should not have the choke enabled. It should be off. So, there's a carbureted bike. We are going to jump over to my bike. So to shut it off, usually what I'll do is hit the engine start stop, lean over, turn off the key. Yep, that's off. Then I will lean the bike away from the kickstand, pick my leg up, pull the kickstand out, lean it over, and then put my leg out, as you can see, and lift myself off the bike. I'm going to leave that how he left it. I'm going to have to move his bike out of the way. Okay. I'm going to charge this before I can ride as well. Now, here's my bike. It's a little bit different than his bike. Here's mine. Major differences. Everything is heavier. Here's my brake. Mirror. Rear brake. Lean over the bike. I'm going to sit on it. Shifter. Way out there. Highway peg. My blinkers are right here. Get back off. And back here. Part of your inspections as well should be making sure that your registration is up to date. Mine is. It is January 2027 for that. It is currently May of 26, so I am fine. For hers, January 2027. For his, April 2027. All up to date. Should also, as part of your check, I didn't go over it because I knew that I wasn't going to be riding that. Should be checking your tire pressures. Typically, you can tell by looking at the bike and the tires whether or not they are low, because it will be squatting. As well as, for this, your oil on this bike, on the side. Check where it is. I am low. I'll fill it up before riding. Actually, I'll give it a little bit before riding. It is usually based off of cold for your fill. On this specifically, it has fill and check oil warm, if it focuses. So, And then for his, you notice that the key was on the left side. For this, it is in the middle. Am I off? I am. I left an accessory. It should be fine. Yeah, it's charged. Okay. So for mine, I have accessory, which doesn't really do anything other than light that up, which was a mistake, and ignition. My ignition turns on all of my lights. As well as prepares it to start. You notice that now I have neutral and oil pressure. If I hit this switch, it will run fuel into the engine to prepare for start. I'm not wanting to do that, so I'm not going to. We're going to do the same check that we did on the Honda. Right blinker. Works. Works. Left blinker. Works. Works. Hazards on this is by hitting both. That's not on. There we go. His bike does not have hazards. Same thing to shut it off. So, also you want to check brakes. So you notice that's running. I'm going to hold this out like this as I push in the rear brake with my foot. I can also see it myself. It lights up. That is your rudimentary test. Next, we'll be starting to move. I need to recharge this battery. Now, before we get into riding the motorcycle, let's talk gear. Okay. So, we're gonna angle this down real quick. So, as you can see, I am wearing jeans and boots. Lift that back up a little bit. Wake up. Then I'm going to be wearing, it is 80 degrees, so I'm wearing a mesh jacket. It has padding in the shoulders and the elbows, if I can find where that is. There it is. As well as the back, which is this big padded thing. So we'll slip that on. Zip it up real fast. I need that so I can see what's happening. Come on. There it is. Come on. I'm going to zip it up all the way. Make sure that everything feels good, that I can move around as I need. Then helmet. It got dirty. Oh no! Oh, it is warm. I'm sitting outside. This is up. So, helmet. I have always ridden with a full helmet. I ride with a, let's see, where does it say its brand? Everywhere. Mach 5 Commander. I bought it when it was like $650. It's like $750 now. So get a good brand. It should at least just be DOT certified. Come back here. Should at least be DOT certified, which is usually on the back of helmets. On this, it is very dark. But it's right here. It's DOT and ECE 2206 certified. So we'll put that on real quick. I wear prescription glasses, so I take them off to put the helmet on. Sometimes it helps to open the visor. And then grab that popped out, lovely. Grab these straps that we will use to lock it onto our noggin. Swing it over your head holding onto the straps, and pull down. This one has headphones in the inside, so I gotta twist it around until my ears fall into the headphones. Make sure everything is tight. Then, for standard helmets, you will have 2 D-rings. You will loop your strap through both, loop it back through the one closest to your neck, and then that will create a lock, and then you bring it back down, and there'll be a button clip. I do not have that. I have a magnet. Put my glasses back in. And as soon as I have a smart helmet, I will turn on my helmet. There it goes. So, now gloves. The final part of the outfit, anytime you're going anywhere, is gloves. You want, if you're riding in summer, what I've usually gone away with is these kinds of mechanics-esque work gloves. I like having padded knuckles, so I just picked these up from O'Reilly's for like 20 bucks. What you want to do is make sure that they fit, obviously. When you put your hand in, you want, for the most part, your fingers to be at the end. My ring finger doesn't quite hit the end. My pinky does not hit the end, but it's good enough. So we'll strap them on. I have to move his bike out of the way. Ugh. Okay. Now we get to go over starting the Harley. It's very simple. What we're going to do to start with is we're going to move this. Is we're going to reach over. I'm getting on from the right side purely because of how it's parked. There's a bike there. I don't really have the space to walk up to the left side of the bike. So, reach out with the right hand, pull in the brake. Prepare to swing. Swing our leg over. Stabilize ourselves. Once you are on the bike, we will turn the key. We will ensure we are in neutral. We are in neutral. If I wasn't, we'll kick into first. Notice the light goes out. We will just click it up into neutral. Then you reach up. This is the engine start stop. Hear that prime, and then you just hit the button. Now I get to move his bike out of the way because Okay. Now let's go over clutch control and getting the vehicle to move. So let's restart the vehicle or the bike. I accidentally hit lights. Let's turn that off. Make sure I'm in neutral. And alright. When you want to start moving the vehicle, reach over, pull in the clutch, down, go into first gear. That is pushing the shift lever down. Let it click. Now we will slowly release the clutch. Slowly release the clutch, you will feel the vehicle pull forward. You want to get used to where that is, where it starts to engage. Do that as many times as you need to start getting used to it. As many times as you need. I'm just rolling on my heel. Do that as many times as you need to get comfortable with the bike.